Hello and welcome. We're coming to you on February 9th, 2026, with some really big news in the world of AI. This is something that could totally change how millions of us use one of the most popular tools out there today.
Yep, you're seeing that right. The news is out. OpenAI has started testing ads inside ChatGPT. This is a seismic shift for the platform, no doubt about it. So we're here to break down what this means for you, for the company, and honestly, for the future of AI. So let's just dive right in. What does this ad test actually look like? Who's going to be seeing these ads? And probably the biggest question on everyone's mind, why is a company like OpenAI, which has always had such a clean interface, making this move right now? Okay, so this initial test is pretty small and focused. For now, it's only rolling out in the United States, and it's specifically for adult users who are logged into their accounts. OpenAI is being really clear that this is just an exploratory phase. They're not going global with this yet. The whole goal, they say, is to learn and get feedback before they even think about making any bigger moves. So that brings us to the question that I'm sure is on your mind. Am I going to start seeing ads? Well, it turns out the answer really just comes down to which version of ChatGPT you're using. The dividing line here is crystal clear. If you're on the free version or that lower-cost Go tier, then yep, you're in the group that'll see ads. But if you're a paying subscriber, so if you're on Plus, Pro, or any of the business, enterprise, or education plans, your experience is staying completely ad-free. This tells us exactly who they're trying to reach to build this new revenue stream, that huge base of free and casual users. And that, of course, leads to the next big question. Why now? Why would they add ads to an interface that's famous for being so clean and simple? Let's take a look at their official reasoning. And here it is, the core of their argument, pretty much straight from the announcement. Running an AI at this scale is just incredibly expensive. The cost of the servers, the constant investment to keep it fast for millions of people, it's just staggering. So OpenAI's position is that ads are basically the key to making sure a powerful, free version of ChatGPT can stick around for everyone. So if you're a free user, you're not being locked into just one path. They're giving you three pretty clear choices. First, you can just accept the ads and keep using it like normal. Second, you can upgrade to a paid plan and get rid of them. But then there's this third option, which is really interesting. You can opt out of ads completely, but it comes with a trade-off. You'll get a lower daily message limit. It's a classic choice, right? Pay with your attention, pay with your wallet, or accept a more limited service. Now, anytime you talk about online ads, the conversation immediately jumps to privacy. And OpenAI seems to know this. They spent a huge part of their announcement talking about the safeguards they're putting in place to protect user data. OpenAI is making 5 big promises here to try and get ahead of any privacy worries. First and foremost, they're drawing a hard line. Ads will not influence ChatGPT's answers, period. They're also promising that advertisers will never, ever see your private chats. All they'll get is anonymous, high-level data like views and clicks. And finally, they're setting up some clear boundaries, promising no ads for minors or on sensitive topics like health. These are really crucial promises if they want to build user trust. And beyond just the policies, they're also giving you direct control over your experience. You'll be able to dismiss any ad you don't like, delete all your ad data with a single tap, and manage your personalization settings. They're even adding a feature that explains why you were shown a particular ad. This whole push for transparency seems to be a huge part of their strategy to get people comfortable with this change. Okay, so we get the details of the initial test, but what's the long game here? Let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture for AI and advertising. Publicly, the message is all about being cautious and learning. OpenAI is really emphasizing that this is an experiment and that they're going to be watching user feedback very closely. Their goal, they say, is to make sure any ads feel useful and not intrusive before they even consider a wider rollout. And right here, this is where we see the real ambition. This isn't just about sticking some banner ads on the side. The long-term vision is for a totally new kind of advertising that's aware of the context of your conversation. You know, imagine asking for dinner recipes and getting a helpful link to a grocery delivery service. The goal is to make ads feel less like an annoying interruption and more like a helpful part of the conversation itself. And that leaves us with the big final question, doesn't it? We've already seen this exact model play out with search engines and social media, right? They're all funded by ads. So as these powerful AI models become just as central to our digital lives, is an ad-supported free tier simply the inevitable future for keeping these incredible tools accessible to everybody? I think that's the real question this test is starting to answer.